Hello class, hope this message finds you well. First of all, my apologies for having to do the weekly video while I'm getting my run in, but the weekly video is important to me. I hope it's important to you, and my running is definitely important to me, so you got to try and get it in where you can fit it in. Nonetheless, this is week 8, so we've got a light week. However, it's still an important week, so I just wanted to share a couple of things. First of all, with regard to the cumulative essay, in accord with the directions, it is 3 to 4 pages per question that you answer. And I believe the instructions also say that one of the essay questions has to be one of the vignettes. Class, what I think is really important here, for me, is that you demonstrate that you can make a connection between the course materials and your reply. And so in that sense, I think a couple of things are important. First of all, I want to reiterate, in terms of what I prefer to see, and I don't say this often, but in terms of what I prefer to see, I do not prefer to see a lot of direct quotes, if any, nor do I need to see any definitions. Remember, as a course instructor, I see this material often, so I'm pretty familiar with it. No need to provide quotes or definitions. But what I do want is the use of course concepts. And what I think makes for the best cumulative essay is something that demonstrates course content across the course. Something from week 2, something from week 4, something from week 6, something from week 3, something from week 1, something from week 5. And I'm not saying it has to be evenly distributed, but what I am saying is that it is important that you use terms, concepts, theories, ideas that are consistent with the course content. That's important. Proper use of in-text citations will be important. I would say at this point, if you got something that doesn't have a date on it, it probably doesn't need to be used. This cumulative essay, I would try and stick with course materials and pull everything from your course materials. The last thing that I would say is, even if it's not a direct quote, feel free to point me, to the page number in your in-text citation. So, Gill, 2021, page 13. Feel free. It's not a requirement, but feel free. Also, if if it's helpful to you, if you've got theories, concepts, ideals that are in bold. And when I say that, I'm not speaking of, like things like if you write values, I don't need you to bold that, or beliefs, I don't need you to bold that. But if you're pulling some course content that is in particular, important, please feel free to put that in bold to bring my attention to it. And so I think that's really it for the cumulative essay. Besides, I would like to say that, I think that it's important that you review the work that you've done before. There may be some content that's appropriate where you don't have to totally, write it over again, but you can, what's the word that they call it? Repurpose it, right? Because if it's your writing, then you have that ability to use it again. But I think that, I've been trying to think of ways to help you work smarter and not harder. And certainly some things that you've talked about before, there's no need to totally rewrite them again, but to revisit things that you've done. I think that's important, right? Because it's cumulative. It's supposed to be representative of your work of the past. That's all that I have for the cumulative essay. The other part is for the peer review for the historical projects. You are welcome to turn in whatever you would like in addition to the numerical values that you're assigning to your classmates. I've had an opportunity to speak to a number of folks in the class about their participation, the participation of their classmates, and it seems as if some people might want to say a little bit more. And I encourage you to do that. So if you want to use that numerics, but then possibly attach a document and send it to me specifically, or you can submit it if you can on Blackboard, that is totally fine with me, and I'll say why. The best feedback, I think that my feedback is sort of kind of important, right? But what I really think is also important is the feedback that you provide to your classmates. It can make the difference between them continuing to do great things or trying to be better. And I really think it's important. I am very hopeful, okay, that you take the time to do this and not just assign, everybody in the class, everybody in your group a 10 because, you do it for me, I'll do it for you. I don't think that's going to be helpful. What I think is going to be helpful is some constructive criticism, as well as some constructive positive affirmations about the work, right? So it's not just the negative, it's the positive. And again, feel free to send that to me. I can attach it to what I'm looking at. If you need to have a conversation with me about it, feel free to. But this is really important. This is really, really important. Because what I don't want to happen, this is what I don't want to happen. What I don't want to happen is, let's say a group's not happy with their grade. And the reason that their grade may not have been what they expected is because one member didn't pull their weight. But then I go back and I look at the evaluations, and that particular person, as well as everyone else, got a 10. Then I'm in a quandary as to what I should do, because I'm not able to distinguish between what really happened in the group prior to me assigning the grade. So I really encourage you to take a look at that. Otherwise, I'll be getting some things back to you this week. The historical presentation is probably going to be later than sooner. But I am hopeful that, with the exception of your cumulative essay, that I'll have everything graded by this Sunday. All right, most of all, class, have a great week. Congratulations on making it to almost the end point of the class. And if there's any way that I could be of assistance throughout the week, by all means, let me know. Bye-bye.